about that one. But
hi, welcome to our channel.
I hit dead on with it though. Actually, perfect. Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm going to bring you another video today about the new, as of 2019 SHOT Show, it was new anyway, the SB Tactical SB-A4. So this is their newest brace. It's pretty much targeted for the AR-15, but you can put it on pretty much anything that takes a standard buffer tube. It's real similar to the SB-A3 that has been out about a year now. But it's a little different. So I'm just going to go over it a little bit and then do some comparisons and tell you some different weights and things like that. Just like the SB-A3, it comes with a standard 6-position buffer tube, so nothing really special there. And also, just like the SB-A3, even though it has 6 positions, it actually only uses 5 of them. So that's just like the SB-A3. Also in the box, you'll just get the standard owner's manual, so nothing special there. So the owner's manual, the buffer tube, and then the brace itself. So like the SB-A3, it works off a standard buffer tube. You've got your adjustment there that you'll be able to slide it back and forth on the tube. It's got QD sockets on both sides, which the SB-A3 also had, but they were back here on the SB-A3, and I much prefer them moved forward. I run Magpul MS4 slings. That's pretty much the only sling I have because it's my favorite, and I tried it in here, and they lock in and work perfect. It's kind of addressed one of the problems with the SB-A3 was right here where this joint is, which is where you can unstrap it to put your arm through. The SB-A3 had some problems with that. It would just kind of like overlap and stuff. I'll just show you real quick what I'm talking about. Carry it away. So there's the SB-A3. You can see how it doesn't want to sit there. It'll sit there, but sometimes it'll pop off. It really doesn't affect the function of it. And then if you have your arm through it, it spreads apart anyway. But on the SB-A4, which is right here, I'll probably get these mixed up throughout the video, but on the SB-A4, they kind of addressed that problem and fixed it. It's definitely a lot more rigid than the SB-A3, especially back in here. I mean, it's still rubber down here. This is still rubber. It's a really hard rubber. I mean, it'll flex a little bit, but it's still really hard. The entire upper body up here where you would be getting a possibly a cheat weld is all polymer. I mean, all of that is polymer. Down here is rubber, and then the QD cups are metal. They have metal inside of them. But all in all, it's definitely really, really solidly built. I'm definitely a big fan of the SB-A3 ever since it came out. That's basically the only brace that I've been buying, and I've recommended it to a whole bunch of people, and I haven't really heard anybody complain about it. Right here you can see the different positions of the QDs, how this one has it in the rear, this one's toward the front more. I prefer it this way. But this one, the A3, I've got a review on it. I'll put it down in the description. It's still a good brace, and I'm definitely not going to get rid of my A3s. I'm honestly not sure which one of these two I like better right now. I just got this in the mail, and I just handled it, played with it. I tried it on a bunch of different buffer tubes, including the one, of course, that it came with. It fit on everything that I tried it on absolutely perfectly. But just initial impressions, I would definitely just say it's a little bit more chunky for sure. It's definitely heavier. I'll hit you with some numbers in a minute, but it's also feels a lot more rigid. Not that the SBA3 wasn't, but I definitely think the SBA4 is a lot more rigid. And straight out of the gate, the one thing I definitely like better about this one is the cheat weld. Whether you're just putting it on your cheek or your shoulder or whatever you're doing with your pistol, the cheat weld on this thing, and I'll just go ahead and compare it, is significantly better. You can see how much wider it is, and just the way this one's profiled, I really can't exactly explain it, but it's just got a better cheat weld. But that's pretty much what it comes with. That's kind of some of the basic features. So I'm just kind of going to compare it side by side with a couple different ones. I've already been comparing it with this one, so I'll just go ahead and continue just to show you. There they are from the end. There they are side by side. I know anytime this kind of stuff comes out, I want to see it next to something that I'm familiar with, and so that's why I'm going to just go over these different comparisons. Like I said, for the last year I've been buying the A3s, and I really like the A3s, and I'm not going to get rid of any of the ones I have, but I definitely wanted to give the A4 a try. And this is just for comparison purpose. Now, this is an actual stock. This is not a stock. I think everybody understands that at this point. But this is just kind of a generic standard stock. So that's why I'm got it for comparison. Pretty much everybody has at least one of these laying around if you have an AR. So just kind of for size comparison is all I wanted to show on that. Nothing really else. And we're going to go over the weights in a minute. But there it is, just kind of compared to that. And then here is the, now this is on the lower, but this is the SB Tactical PDW. Up until the A3 came out, this was pretty much my favorite brace. My only con on this brace ever, and it still is a con, is the weight. This is probably one of the heaviest braces on the market. But it's still a good option. So you can just kind of get an idea. This is a very comfortable brace, that's for sure, the PDW. So nothing really contrasting there. But I still like the PDW. This is the only one I have, but it's really expensive and really heavy for what it is. Now this one I have on a, if you've seen my 1022 Charger video, where I go over this build and the way I've got this thing set up. So this is a Shockwave blade. It's on my Charger. This is probably the lightest brace and probably the cheapest brace on the market, but it definitely is, I won't say it's the worst brace. It's still a really good brace, and I used to really like these. You know, it locks with a set screw. Everybody's familiar with these. But it still is a valuable option. This is the only one of these that I have currently, and it does good on this 22. But there it is. This gun is completely clear. I mean, it does have a magazine, safe direction, click, but it's unloaded. There it is from the rear. So the blade, obviously one of the downfalls, it always was kind of trash talked because it's so thin. So, you know, not like, if you put this on an AR, it's not like it has any recoil anyway, but that's one of the disadvantages to the blade. So there it is on the blade. I also will show the cheat weld. You can kind of compare it to a blade. So there it is on the blade. PW. Now I'll go over the weights. The one disadvantage to this brace, if I had to give it one knock, and the only knock that I have against it out of the gate, is the weight. So on my scale that I have, it weighed, I got a little list I'm cheating on over here, it weighed 10.4 ounces. So definitely not the heaviest brace. It's not as heavy. I don't know what the exact weight on the PDW is, but it's heavier. The PDW is still definitely heavier than this one. So it's not the heaviest brace by far, but it is fairly chunky. It doesn't feel it in the hand. Once you install it on a gun, you don't feel it there, but just simply by taking it, placing it on a scale, it is heavier. In comparison to the SBA3, which is 7.4 ounces. So 7.4 ounces versus 10.4 ounces. So you got a 3 ounce difference between those two. And really the only true gains that I see in this one, the A4 versus the A3, is I think you got a little bit better spot back here, whether you're putting that on your shoulder or whatever you're doing with it. But the way they fix that little joint there, they really they improve that. And the other improvement would be the cheat weld. So if you're willing to add on 3 more ounces for those two things, then yeah, it's probably worth it. I can't honestly say which one I like better. They're both good braces. You're not going to go wrong with either one. And then once again, just for comparison, this is just a standard kind of run-of-the-mill stock, and this weighs 7.3 ounces. So you got the regular stock weighs 7.3 ounces. The SBA3 weighs 7.4 ounces. And then the SBA4 weighs 10.4 ounces. So these two are exactly the same weight. And then, of course, the Shockwave blade, which is kind of the king when it comes to weight, is 5.1 ounces. But, of course, you do lose a lot of function. It's not as comfortable. Doesn't have as good of a cheat weld. And it's non-adjustable on the fly. It does adjust with a set screw, but you can't adjust it on the fly. So it's really just more kind of between these two. I'm sure these two braces, a lot of people are going to be deciding between. A lot of them is going to be based off of looks. I mean, this definitely looks more stockish if that's what you're going for. But on the other hand, I don't think this one looks bad on guns either. They both look about the same to me. I'm going more for function. So it's definitely kind of hard to make a direct decision on which one is better. I just think you won't go wrong with either one. Now here we have it installed on my ATI Millsport 9mm AR. I've got a complete video on this AR. I've got a video on these sights. I think it's the Tritech Tactical Grip. I've got a video on that. I'll link all that in the description. But, you know, like I said, I think it really looks good. I won't say it's better looking than the SBA3, but it definitely does give it a more stockish look. I mean, it's still a brace. I'm not a lawyer, so don't take my advice on all the laws on that. But it's still a brace. It still functions as a brace, and that's what's most important. This build normally does have the SBA3, and I'm going to put the SBA3 back on it. I'm not 100% sure where I'm going to put this brace at just yet. I just kind of ordered it because I saw them in stock, and I got one, and I've just been playing it around. I pretty much tried it on every buffer tube that I have. Whether they're just laying around extra buffer tubes like this one that came with it, or on guns, and it's fit them all. Some of it fits tighter than others, but that's to be expected. These A3s are tight when you get them out of the box, and they kind of they'll loosen up over time, a lot of use. But anyway, I just want to give you a look at it on the pistol here. I don't think you'll go wrong with either of these. I think they're both excellent products. Everything SB Tactical makes is pretty much solid. I haven't had a problem with any of their stuff. It's just personal preference. PDW is still really strong and sturdy and very comfortable, but it is heavy. The A3, you know, there's really not any issues with the A3 that bother me that really stand out. The weight is good. Everything's good. My only disadvantage to this new one would be the weight, but there are things I like, you know, having the QD cuts move forward and stuff like that. So I don't know. Going forward, it's going to be these two braces for me from now on. You know, I've got this one, so I'm going to be trying it for a while. I don't know. When the time comes that I need another brace, I honestly don't know at this moment which one of these two I will buy. Probably the A4, mainly because when these came out, I went heavy into them, and I've got like 5 of them. So just to keep it mixed up, you know, from going forward, I'll probably buy this one for a while. But, you know, if I only had to have one brace for the end of time, I could do it and serve. Both of these are serviceable. I really could just, it's either or. They would both do the job. There's things I like about both of them. But if you have any questions about any of this, put it in the comments. Feel free to ask me anything, and I'll try to answer about any of this, about my Charger build, or the Millsport, or any of this other stuff, or even my little Lightning OTF, which is that awesome little knife for the money. You don't see much of these, but these things are awesome. You see the wear on this one. I've been carrying it on and off for probably about a year, and it's never gave me a problem. But anyway, drop all that in the comment, and I will see y'all next time. Thanks.